Anyway, I wanted to talk today about millionaires. And the common misconception is a lot of millionaires, they came from a rich family, they inherited a bunch of money from mommy and daddy. That's just not true. I mean, 88% of all millionaires are self-made, meaning they did not inherit their wealth. And let's just say, for example, the average teacher or engineer, let's say you make $50,000 a year, you maybe save $10,000 and you invest that $10,000 for the next 30 or 40 years, or maybe you invest $20,000, and next thing you know, you're a millionaire, just slow and steady. But anyway, there's a guy that I believe he got famous on the Dave Ramsey show, but I think they did a book and a study on millionaires. And anyway, I'm going to listen to this.
Study, you and the team came up with 5 characteristics of the average millionaire.
Yes.
I'm just going to run through these real quick and let
Sure.
you just have some fun with it.
Sure.
The first one is they take personal responsibility.
Personal responsibility was huge. Another stat showed 97% of the millionaires believe they control their own destiny. 97%. So the mindset around it is that these are people that know wherever they are, it's on them. If things are going great, if things are not going great, they're not looking to blame people, Ken. So what they're doing is
Just a ballpark average. How many years does it take somebody to get to that millionaire status if they're just doing the 401k, the work sponsored retirement?
Yeah, typically on average it's right under 25 years.
25 years.
Right.
Okay.
So that's time after time. They're growing their money with compound interest, right, and time. And that's the way to go about it.
Yeah, so if you're 40 years old, it's not too late.
No, it's never too late. Thank you for mentioning that. Because again, in the reality, and I even talked about that with my book, Retire Inspire,
Yes.
It's never too early to get started and it's never too late to make some changes. You still have time.
Yeah. And again, just for people listening.
But basically the point I want to make is that, the average millionaire today is the teacher you got at school, or the engineer that works 8 hours every day and is they may not be driving the fancy cars and they may not be flaunting their wealth, but most millionaires today, they weren't born into wealth. A lot of them were born into poverty, and they created their own wealth by working hard and saving more than they earn and investing that money into assets that appreciate over time, whether it's stocks in a retirement fund, whether one big difference in wealth in America is home ownership. If someone, spends 30 years paying a mortgage off and owns that home at the end of 30 years, compared to someone who's been renting for 30 years and doesn't own anything, that home might be worth, several $100,000, and that is the main chunk of the difference in America of the have and the have-nots. Is really home ownership. But most of these millionaires, they invested in their says right here, top source of assets were investments, capital appreciation, compensation, employee stock options, profit sharing. It says most who inherited their wealth normally have more real estate, but just investing in good businesses and good companies, and over a long period of time, that creates wealth. As we just saw in our last example of Ronald Reed. Perfect example of how how you can become very wealthy in this country, and you don't necessarily need the highest salary. You don't need to be making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. Anyway, thank you for watching.